This is Beyond the Big Screen podcast with your host, Steve Guerra.
Here is another Beyond the Big Screen teaser for episodes coming soon. I hope you enjoy and definitely tune in for future episodes. If you want to learn more, you can head over to beyondthebigscreen.com. You can also send me an email to steve@a2zhistorypage.com or follow us on social media by searching for A2Z History. I will see you next time beyond the big screen.
Well, at the time, the Iroquois Confederacy and the Huron nations were enemies. One of the reasons why they were enemies during the early colonization of the continent by Europeans was the fur trade. And who would control the fur trade? Who would supply the Europeans with the furs and control of the corresponding territories? With regards to the French living in New France and the fur trade, the Hurons were allies of the French, and the Iroquois thus saw the French as being enemies and saw these Jesuit priests who seemed to be only bringing disease and mayhem wherever they went as the enemy, and that's why they were very belligerent towards them.
Yeah, and in the movie, they portrayed their village. They had a massive stockade around their town. They had huge buildings. I mean, it was a very sophisticated setup that they had.
Well, the Amerindians of northeastern North America did live in sophisticated societies, and actually some of their government structure was used as a model later on, even in the founding of the United States.
What happened there was sort of over the course of time, details are just lost and consolidated, and it sort of turned into this myth. And it just sort of was the story of Jamestown itself is extremely sort of diverse, and there's a lot of stuff going on. And so it sort of melded into this single story, which it really wasn't, because Pocahontas and John Smith, I mean, they didn't have much of a relationship at all. The main things that happened there were largely, he misinterpreted a lot of them, and justifiably so, I would say, because, you are dealing with incredibly different cultures that have never really interacted. There are going to be misunderstandings that happen. And the first misunderstanding was obviously that famous scene, which was obviously in the movie, where she had protected him when her father was going to have him killed.